Hey healers, welcome back to my channel. This is Sarada Muladhara, the root chakra goddess, with a message for you guys. So a lot of you guys have been asking questions about polyamory. So this is a reading that just came out answering some of those questions. So I've got some of these Lover's Oracle heart-shaped cards that are so beautiful. I have like 3 different piles pulled. Well, actually, there's this pile, and there's these, and there's this message. So there's going to be something for everyone in here that's tuning in, but everything's not going to apply to all of you. So you have to use discernment for your situation, okay, you guys? But there's some overarching messages that we're going to get into. So first of all is like your own self-sabotage. Yikes. Because you put the 8 of Swords and the 2 of Swords together and you have 10 Swords. So you basically have a self-imposed tragedy that you've created for yourself based on your own powerlessness, your own feelings of powerlessness, where you may have actually had agency in a situation. You didn't move with that agency and you didn't use it. You've been afraid of it. You've been hiding from it. You may have just been biding your time, and you probably have your reasons why, so no one can say that you're wrong for that. But there's a question being asked of like, what are you going to do with new information once you become aware of it? How are you going to integrate it into your life and use it and allow it to inform you and benefit you instead of continuing to play out the same patterns that potentially are hurting you? You're like hurting yourself with the swords. So swords represents mental energy, you guys. So it indicates basically the presence of these swords here indicates that there's mental abuse of the self going on that is causing you to overlook your opportunities. So don't do that, because the first card that came out, first of all, was the sun. The crow just cawed outside. I don't know if you guys caught that. The sun. This is concerning the sun. I can't pick it up. Oh my gosh. Yikes. Ah! Another card fell. The Knave of Cups. Okay, we'll get to those cards in a minute. So the sun, that's the sun. That's literally a son, a child in your family, or potentially a man who, this is his child, inner child. You're dealing with child energy, childlike energy, and that's innocence. So immediately for many of you guys, this is a message about a son to be born. There's a sacred son for y'all lineages, a lot of y'all, that is meant to be born. And it's basically the kind of thing where with the presence of these generational curses, they will do whatever they can do, those that are in opposition to your bloodline, to get intense. This is why we do spiritual warriorship and why we do spiritual warrior training, because you're going to be attacked by oppositional forces based on who you are. So it behooves you to know who you are, because it's not as simple as white or black or whatever race that people claim. There's many different lineages that could be made up in one race. Even, for example, Arab is not a race. Like there's like literally like probably thousands of different lineages that could encompass that. So this is why in Root Lock we commune with our ancient ancestors and we get that information directly from the source, because you're not going to get it from ancestry.com. Okay, you want to be equipped to fight for you and yours, especially when it comes to having children. So personally, I do this practice ahead of time because I'm vulnerable and I know this. So you want to plan accordingly. When you come from a sacred bloodline, if you've already experienced genocide, you know, I'm not going to say all the words because they'll just, you know, but I trust this is for, that's why we use the code word starseed. We use the code word starseed. okay, but even that is iffy because spirituality is always going to be under attack, especially authentic spirituality that teaches you how to use what you have for yourself instead of being milked and pimped for somebody else. So like basically you're coming to these realizations of how to survive and what you need. So I think for a lot of people with our community, the question of polyamory is a question of resources. Is like the more people you have in your like dating pool, the more resources you have access to. And that's why a lot of people are not going to stop being polyamorous, because they need access to those resources. And I was saying this in a post earlier, is that the most beneficial marriages for, if you have wealth, it's more beneficial to be monogamous, unless you're Muslim and you practice polygamy for a specific religious reason, or another religion that practices it for religious reasons, because that's also an exchange. There's rules in Islam. There's equal division of everything, and everyone would enforce that because that's the rule. So it's different than, there's also the difference between like formal polyamory or polygamy and just dating. You're just dating until you find who you want to be with. But I personally think that there's a lot of damage that gets done, and exploring secure attachment is beneficial, which a lot of my audience are people who have disorganized attachment styles or fearful, avoidant, mixed with anxious attachment styles, because it ain't no telling what you might do. And what I was doing in my research earlier, I was looking up that those are people who typically experience trauma before the ages of 18 months old. And this is about 7% of the population, which they estimate, which I don't know, probably could be more than that, because how do you know? Because a lot of people don't remember what happened, and that's why we're doing the remembering now in my coaching container. So if you want more support remembering your early childhood memories or anything that's happened, if you're a person that says, I know something happened, but I don't know what it was, I can help you find out what it was, because I did that for myself. And I recovered a lot of memories, and I went to extreme lengths to do it, like 10-day silent meditation retreat, meditating for thousands of hours, and to the point I remembered so much that I can barely meditate anymore, because I'm like, no, I'm scared. But you gotta meditate. It's so important. So I incorporate meditative practices with everything I do. And I don't even pull cards that often, but I was pulling some cards today for my own situation, and this is a collective message that resonates. It's the sun, the sacred sun. And your ancestors are surrounding you now to usher in the birth of a sacred sun. This is literally a sun. For the majority of people tuning in, it's a sun. So it's either a sun you already have had, or a sun that is coming through your bloodline. And this is so beautiful how authentic this message is for the collective, and this means there are so many of you right now having the same or similar emotional experience and emotional reaction to this message. Like, I can deliver the message without emotion because I've already received it for myself, and I know it's I'm really grateful to be able to give this confirmation to you, because I know what this feels like. You're opening yourself up to accept more support, because how are you going to do it all alone? At this point, it's like there's no way. There's not even a hint of a pretending to make a way of doing this by yourself. And what's sad, this is really the sad part, which we're going to go in the heart chakra now to open the door to this part of us that does not want to let help in because we're scared. So on that, at the time that I said we're scared, it was 9:11 on the clock, and so we're coming up on the gateway of 911 and 119, and root lock starts on 119. So this is a really exciting time. This is a transformative time in this Gregorian calendar year, because all this stuff is fake. So you use it like a cheat code, and you hack through it, and you use the numbers and all the other symbology that you receive. And this is what tarot is useful for, but at a certain point, you're not going to need it. And so this is like fun because I don't do tarot that often. So I'm really excited to drop this video. And this is why I love my work, because I get to channel this collective message that gives myself guidance as well as you, and film it and share it with the images and the pictures and the story that goes along with it. It's a collective message that resonates, and we'll see how much it resonates based on who likes, comments, shares, subscribes. This is the indicator of what resonates, and this is really the basic parameters of how you know it's hitting. And the thing that is the challenge at first when you first get started is to just do it, even if you don't get any response. And on one of my coaches, on one of her coaching calls, somebody was like breaking down because of how hard it was to like do their business, and she's like, I see you like posting things and sometimes you get no response, or you get like 2 likes, and my coach was like, I don't care. She was like, I don't care. Plus, she was like, the sales in my bank account make up for everything. Like, this is the numbers that I care about, and it's so true, because you can have numbers but not have money, and that's what I had before, and that's why I didn't even care when I lost my page, even though it really sucked because I had like things built up on there over years, and it just sucks that they could just take it all away from me. And so that's why I'm really rebuilding right now in a totally different way, and it's taking time, and it's really a frustrating thing to get through. But this is the same type of energy we need to bring to our romantic relationships as well, because I think it's like a lot easier sometimes to bring that energy to our work or to even our friendships or anything else. But when it comes to love, it's like we think that it should just be so easy. But what if it's not? What if we have to work for it? You know, are you willing to work for it? Like, how much are you willing to work for it? What is worth working for? I think these are like the critical questions that we're asking ourselves right now. There's no point in having sex that's not cosmic sex, and this is the juncture that we've come to with sex work, which is what I've been talking about for years. And I feel like it's been severely misunderstood, but I don't care. I'm just gonna keep talking about the fact that it's like we do not want to have sex that we don't want to have anymore. And this has been the huge shift with OnlyFans, is that people are like, you know what, instead of doing porn that I don't really want to do or that I can't really control my environment, I'm gonna do it myself in my privacy of my own home. I'm gonna do it with my partner or partners. Instead of escorting and having clients that I don't get to choose, I'm gonna, you know, even the screening, with the increased screening, like, you can see the picture of your client before you decide to see him in person, and you can say, you know what, I'm not really attracted to him. I don't think so. So we have more options than ever before. And I think this is one of the things that makes a lot of the men we are interested in, or who are interested in us, leery and weary, because they're afraid we're just going to leave and trade up for something better because we have better options and we're consistently elevating ourselves. So this is where, so you're the Queen of Cups. Okay, so this is the thing. This is why it's always pays to be selfish no matter what. It behooves you to be selfish no matter what. It's so funny because I know there's men watching here trying to find information on like how to deal with females. And like, please let me know if you agree. Like, no man is going to fault you for being selfish. They're only going to love you more. No man is going to fault you for like literally pushing him away, slowing him down, and like not giving him access to what he wants from you. He's only going to want you more. You don't owe anybody anything. Unfortunately, for a lot of people that have disorganized attachment styles, that have early childhood trauma of sexual abuse, a lot of the people that come to me through my ministry, this is a wound where you will give freely of whatever you have to another person, thinking that that's what you have to do in order to have closeness with them. And then what it does is it creates a situation in which you cannot have closeness with them because you're like too vulnerable for them and they're hurting you, and there's no way for them not to, because you haven't set a single boundary and you haven't taken up space to be yourself. And I think that a lot of times when I find people on the internet talking about avoidant versus anxious attachment, they're not taking into account the fearful avoidant, or the disorganized attachment style of early childhood sexual abuse trauma survivors. Because what I find is that actually you how can you say that this man is avoidant when he actually has shared himself with you and things about himself with you? But how much have you shared about yourself with him? And why? Also, because what if he's somebody that doesn't feel worthy of you? Is he trying to squish your light in it or dominate you in any type of way that makes you feel less free? I think that a lot of us can agree that we do want to be dominated by our men, which I've been finding a lot with my dating. I don't know if it's because I'm so like strong on my masculine energy, which that could be why, but I think this will resonate with a lot of the collective that I'm speaking to. Also, is like, I don't know, I find a lot of men attracted to me. They want me to dominate them and tell them what to do, and I don't want to have to do that, but I also like, it helps as long as I know what I want. And I think that this is some of the simple conversations that a lot of women just have a hard time having, which is why it helps for us to have it formalized in sex work. I think that's one of the things that draws sex work for so many people, is that it's like, well, you know, I know there's something you want from me, and there's something that I want from you too. King of Pentacles. What does the King of Pentacles want from the Queen of Cups? He wants that wet wet. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I get so shy when I talk like that, but it's so funny, you guys. But you know what he wants? He wants to get it wet. He wants to get it wet. Okay, can I say that on YouTube? YouTube, can I say that? He wants to get it wet. So we already know what the King of Pentacles wants. What does the Queen of Cups want? She wants that pentacle, baby. Give me that pentacle. Give me that pentacle. Thank you. You know I want that pentacle. Okay, so simple things that we need to have, like a list of our bills, a budget. When you don't have simple structure in place, or it's really challenging to do, you have two likely things happening, which is the inner child dominance. She's running the show, along with a past life fear of contractual obligations. So you deliberately avoid anything to do with like contractual obligations and meeting them, which could become at a detriment. So you might need to live with somebody or have somebody basically handle a lot of things for you, or it might just be extremely difficult for you to do it yourself and take up a lot of your energy. So this is really typical. So everything that I'm saying should resonate with almost everyone that's watching, and the likelihood that anyone who's watching who it doesn't resonate with, you're watching this so that you can more so understand somebody else who operates this way. This is Ho Shit 101. Thank you, everybody. I don't know what else to say about that. I don't know about separating my channels. I'm thinking of doing a separate like tarot channel. Because like I said, I don't use tarot often, but I love it for getting the message out to the collective. And I know myself personally, I love watching tarot videos on YouTube. So I'm sort of thinking about dipping my toe back in to join the collective tarot readers. The collective of tarot readers. So let me know if you guys are resonating with my readings and my channel, and what you think about that. I'm in a creative phase. So here, let's look at this oracle card. Healing. Imagine yourself and your beloved surrounded by light. Feel your relationship being healed this very moment. So the reason why some of you guys are so interested in polyamory right now, and we're talking about it as it relates to sex work, as it relates to like mutually beneficial arrangements and relationships and love relationships, marriages, we're talking about romance here. There's still actually a sliver of romantic energy in the collective. Like, we have not had all our hopes dashed completely. And this is what we're talking about right now. Literally, marriage is a contractual obligation, and a agreement that it has to do with balancing pentacles between two lineages. And it's not just balancing the pentacles, it's balancing the DNA with what they could create. This doesn't apply for, this reading is not for people that aren't going to have kids. or if it is, this is for you, for somebody else to relate to, or it's something that's already happened for you. So this could apply at any distance of space and time. It could even be ancestrally. So let me know how it resonates for you. You are not being imprinted upon with a destiny that is not congruent with your own. Because the Hierophant is marriage, and it's a spiritual marriage. And then we have the worlds. El Mundo, and the Two of Pentacles. We also have these pentacles over here, the Six of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, the Four of Cups. Look, you guys, look at this. It's about generational wealth, okay? So, let me, I don't know if how this is going to translate. Sorry, I should have done this from the beginning. This is a much better angle to get more cards in. Sorry, you guys. I don't know if you might have to twist your TV right now. I don't know. I think what I'll do is, there's nothing I can do at this point, but I'll show you guys this and then turn it back around. So you're making a choice. You have the Four of Cups, King of Pentacles, Knave of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, that Hierophant, Two of Pentacles, the World. You stop holding yourself back with your Ten of Swords. It's because it did so much to you. The world did it so much to you. They stabbed you in the back so much. They tore your confidence down, and they ruined your sense of self because of their imprints and their impressions. So now we're gonna go back to normal orientation. Once you decide to stop doing it for yourself, because they got you to do it for yourself, and that's the only way they can do that. That's the only way they can get you, is to get you to do it to yourself. So now, the Queen of Cups, she's so sensitive. She tried to build a fortress around herself, but it kept love out, and she needs love because she needs these Six of Pentacles. She can't, look, this is extremely Scorpionic. For those of you who have a lot of heavy Scorpio placements, Scorpio dominant in your birth chart, in your chart, in your energy, you're the ruler of other people's money. That means you need other people to give you money. And that does entail a certain level of social courtesy and people liking you. The good news is that people naturally like you. They want to give you things. Like, they want to, like, you're the goddess that, like, somebody will just literally, like, offer you whatever they have and give it to you freely because they want you to have it. And the only way you can stop that is by building this cage of swords around yourself where you feel unsafe and you have to preemptively push people away. So now you get to use your words to say how you feel and to set your boundaries instead of having to do some wild, crazy actions to prove that you really got that life. And this is especially for my early childhood sexual abuse trauma survivors. This is why I run containers specifically for people like us. I've been remembering my own experiences when I was before the age of 18 months old, my formative experiences. And when I tell you guys, I experienced so much betrayal, it's unreal, from my own family before I was 18 months old. So no wonder I move and operate the way that I do in life. I give myself grace for that. When you remember and you know what happened, you actually know what to give yourself grace for. You actually know what to be gentle with yourself about. But if you don't know, then you don't know what to be gentle with. And then, if you put yourself lowly because you had these formative experiences that made you feel low, and then you put other people ahead of you, above you, then you might end up hurting yourself to try to please other people when the whole time they're not going to be with you when you die. And you really need to focus on pleasing yourself. So you're basically here with the polyamory has to do with basically wanting to have your needs for all different things met and feeling like you can't really get them all met in one person. Like, you need financial support, you need emotional support, you need physical support, you need massages, you need hugs and kisses, you need sex, you need bomb sex, you need a long dick. You need a long dick for days. You need to love. You need partnership. Like, you need someone to help you around the house and clean up and, like, don't make you do everything by yourself. You need someone just to, like, do it for, like, for there to be a point to your existence. There's, like, so many things that you need that it feels, like, all-encompassing that you can't get it from another person. and try to get it all from yourself, but that doesn't work and it leaves you feeling burnt out and vulnerable. But you might have a high degree of shame and guilt for receiving, and you might feel that you need to exchange something like sex or money or whatever to receive that, and so that keeps you locked in a certain pattern with certain types of people, and you feel that you're not going to be loved authentically for who you are because of what happened when you were so young. So it's really tough because there's so much like self-improvement and things that you can do, but ultimately, like, it's actually the reason why you do the self-improvement that's the thing that's healing you. It's because you're actually investing in yourself and you actually give a fuck. It doesn't really matter what you do. And that's one thing that a lot of people won't understand, because they see self-improvement and self-care as only like investing in your appearance. But there's a lot of other ways to do it. And one of those is relationally. So for this collective, honestly, you're being invited to do whatever you want relationally. And I think there's a lot of hang-ups that we have of like, oh, well, I should only do this, or I should do this, or this is wrong, or this is right, or whatever. Just go with your gut at this time, what feels right for you. That's what's really going to be the most important thing, because you're not going to be able to, like, choose speaking, like morality-wise, from other people's morality codes. And you're just developing your own at this time. Look inside yourself. Examine what is causing you to feel this way. So one thing that people come to a lot for... come to YouTube love readings for a lot is for what's the other person feeling. You know, there's a lot of, like, I don't particularly like to do readings for individuals one-on-one. So if somebody tries to DM you saying that it's me and they're going to give you a reading, it's not me. And it'll be very rare for me to actually ever offer a one-on-one reading, but the collective messages resonate because so many large groups of people are going through similar things, and because I'm speaking to a very specific niche, which is sex worker survivors of sexual abuse, which is a very particular, neglected, underrepresented niche, and it's for a reason, and I go through a lot to provide these messages to be able to. I have to protect myself all the time. So one of the places that I'm most vulnerable in, so are you guys, is in your intimate relationships, because that's where someone can really take your life away from you. Because you've already had this imprint from before of somebody doing it in early childhood. Then it feels normal, it feels like love, and there's not necessarily a bad thing with, like, say you want someone to control you completely. Like, say you want someone to control every aspect of your life. You're entitled to that. That might feel good for you. Say you need to be with your partner 24/7. Like, you have certain needs and you don't need to feel bad for them. And this is how you can get them met, by openly acknowledging what they are, instead of only thinking about what the other person needs. Look inside yourself. He's looking inside you. So see how he's looking inside her. She's looking away. She's dreaming of love. Trust. Transformation occurs through acceptance. Once you accept the current situation, it will automatically transform. This is why we do our, like, fear inventories, and we log how we feel and what's already happened. Like, one of my basic things that I have you guys do in almost all my programs is to just log what's already occurred, you know, in the ebook that you get in the Bad Bitches bundle. Yay, the Bad Bitches bundle. It's coming out soon for hosearehealers.com. So it's not out yet, but it's the ebook that you get in the Bad Bitches bundle. It's called Healing from Adult Industry Sexual Trauma, and there's an inventory that you take the inventory of everything that's already happened, because you want to dredge it up to remember it, because once you remember that, you can kind of clear it out. There's different techniques that we use to do that, and then you're gonna have more stuff that comes up, and the deeper you go, the darker it's gonna get. But if you're like me, you want to go there. There's so much power there. The Queen of Cups, she's deep. She's deep. She has a lot to give. She has a lot to offer. So let's look at these two different piles, you guys. So let's do it like a pick a card. You can choose one and it'll be a reading for you. Okay. And the Two of Wands is the crossroads that we're at now. So we're seeing which way to go. So you could either, you know, what this could be is like timeline A and timeline B. Like say you were trying to make a certain decision. Timeline A, timeline B. Timeline A, timeline B. If I make this decision, this is how it will turn out. If I do something else, this is how it will turn out. This is up for you to decide. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 1, pile 2, pile 1, pile 2, pile 1, pile 2. So let's see here. It's hard to do this with one hand, but wow, do you see this? This is so cool. So they're out in outer space. In a deep connection. Then it's a guardian angel holding the other one. And here the wings are by themselves. So what would that mean? Let's see. Romance, Cupid's arrow strikes, new love. You made a decision that led to new love. A new person entering your life. So what these could also be is two separate people, of course. I don't know why I didn't think that before and say that. This is a polyamory reading. So these piles could also be about two separate people that you're dealing with. So this is the newest person. The other pile would be the oldest person. So this is the newest person you're dealing with. Romance, Cupid, arrow strike. You had an initial attraction. My beloved, though we may be physically apart, spiritually we are always united, for love transcends space and time. Nothing is missing. Of course you're still in love with the one that you loved before. That doesn't just go away. So this is how you get your wings. The past is now behind you. Release it and embrace new possibilities. A new path is now available to you. Follow it with faith. This is the uncertainty, and this really hurts. This is a feeling where you feel like, I don't want to do this. I'm not. It's almost like a cycle repeating. This is where the polyamory cycle ends. This is actually where the polyamory cycle ends, is where you don't want to do this anymore. You do this so many times. You've done this before so many times. You've done this before so many times. What is happening now is your concept of romance is changing, and you're really going from the Queen of Cups to the King of Pentacles. It's not about this other person. The King of Pentacles. It's about you and what you need, and you have needs that need to be fulfilled, so you're becoming more aware of what they are. So pile 2, person 2, or timeline B. Yeah, this is so good, you guys. This is so good. I'm so glad we're looking into this, because this is going to cut a lot of confusion right away. Oh yeah. And so this is pile 2, person 2. You have a deep sexual passion for this person, deep connection. So these are the cards. So notice how it's her in the middle. So this is you. This is the woman, the feminine, and she's thinking, and really, she's deeply reminiscing, potentially projecting. Okay. Let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space. Love never claims, it simply allows and gives. So this is actually you're being able to release control and trust, which you never had before. See, look, trust. Transformation occurs through acceptance. Once you accept the current situation, it will automatically transform. You're accepting completely what is, You're accepting how you're being perceived in the situation, what it is to you, okay? You're letting go. Only time will tell. So you're in a crossroads, Two of Wands, because you know that you're not in control of the situation and your only option is surrender. All you can do is deeply connect with how you feel. You can't control anybody, you can't chase anybody, you can't claim anybody. You have to be completely detached and just let love flow into you. See, she's crying like these cosmic tears, and they're going into her sacred heart. This is the foundation of unconditional love. This is what the point of the twin flame journey is. It's not about claiming another person or burning in the fires with them. It's about the open flame in your heart that is cosmic warriorship. It's open-hearted, unconditional love. This is the foundation of unconditional love, and that's where you find it in yourself. Beware of what you are projecting, for the qualities you admire in one another are qualities you both possess. Equally so, the qualities you don't like are also your own reflection. So you're now basically seeing each other much more deeply, and that's, the stakes are higher, the intensity has gone up. So of course you have to mitigate it with some other flesh. The spiritual bodies are awakening, they're expanding. The cosmic sex potential is growing in this union. And of course the potential to bring through the sacred sun. So this is the most important thing to the ancestors that are calling for this reading. And they want you to feel empowered to build up your pentacles guilt-free. Love never claims, it simply allows and gives. And that's exactly it. It allows and gives. So you have to allow in order for him to give, or whoever it is. You have to allow in order to receive. For someone else to give, you have to allow it. And if you don't allow it, you're taking an opportunity away from them to love you. And that will hurt them. If they want to love you, that will hurt them. So don't ever do that. Give them an opportunity to love you. This is the message. Let me know how it resonates. Make sure you leave some comments. Tell which pile were you, what pile was what. Are you on multiple timelines that you see yourself on? Are you dealing with multiple people? Are you monogamous? Are you polyamorous? Let's chat. Let's talk more about this. And make sure, as always, you like, share, subscribe, say mashallah, tell a friend to tell a friend. Stay tuned. Peace.